to promote and not much to feel proud of.
For a little while and
Okay.
Whoa.
And
Would
the
you
other
have
reason
any
is because,
questions?
like you also correctly pointed out, it's just like long rambling sessions where everyone around him is just fucking glazing him. And the less popular the administration gets, I mean, this is like 22,000 people watching, right? Like AMLO had hundreds of thousands of people watching every day when he did the 2-hour sessions. But the longer these like self-suck ramble sessions goes, and the longer people feel a certain type of way, a negative way about everything that's going on around this administration. The more people will be like, all right, dude, do something for me.
But we'll accept it, right, fellas? But we have closed borders. We have people coming into our country, but they only come in legally. We have the strongest borders we've ever had. We might have the strongest borders of almost any nation right now. And that's a big difference from what it was 2 years ago when everybody was pouring in.
Yeah, they also,
But we're
Tulsi
very
Gabbard
unhappy
referred to
with
Stephen Miller as the
Venezuela,
leader of this task force
because
right
of
after
what
Hexas
they've done.
spoke. It's a violation of the Hatch Act. We have completely dropped the ball on every aspect of this administration. All of the severe escalations, all of the severe creeping towards fascism. Not a single one of those things gets the immediate attention necessary. I get it. It's all systems go. I get it. They're hitting every fucking avenue they possibly can. But the fact that there is no accountability whatsoever, or no demands for transparency, no demands for accountability whatsoever, is alarming. It comes across as like full submission.
Reason not to. You know, they'll always complain, oh, we should have gone. So we're going to definitely, I'd like to just tell you, let's go. We'll go.
And Mr.
We're going to tell them what we're going to do, and I think they're going to probably like it, except for the radical
I never
left
thought I would
lunatics.
see the day where I would say, like, I want the debunkers back. I want them. I want the debunkers. Where are the debunkers? You know, where are they? What's going on? Where's Daniel Dale? Bring Daniel Dale back every fucking day. Okay? Put him on the spotlight. Have him debunk everything that he's saying. Please. I missed the debunkers. I was wrong. I miswoke. I was wrong. Okay? I miswoke and I missed the debunkers.
Okay.
I was annoyed.
Yeah.
I was annoyed with both of those things. I was annoyed with the liberals, okay? I was annoyed with the left, and I still am to this day. I was annoyed back then, and I still am. But it doesn't matter. I would much rather have those guys as the opposition as opposed to these guys, okay? It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I would much rather have woke get out of hand than have whatever the fuck is going on here get out of hand, because they're doing cancel culture way more aggressively than the liberals ever could. Instead of making you feel bad about something that you said that they're like bastardizing or whatever, or greatly exaggerating or whatever, these guys unironically are going, you're a terrorist, you're going to go to jail. Or if you're not living within the U.S. boundaries and you're not an undocumented...
Say that he was not guilty of anything, that what he did, well, you don't know much about crypto. You know nothing about nothing, you fake news. But let me just tell you that he was somebody that, as I was told, I don't know him. I don't believe I've ever met him. But I've been told by a lot of support. He had a lot of support. And they said that what he did is not even a crime. It wasn't a crime, that he was persecuted by the Biden administration. And so I gave him a pardon at the request of a lot of very good people.
Mr. President.
Yeah, please. Yes, Daniel.
President, thank you so much.
This is the kind of question I like.
Yeah,
right here.
the numbers from this task force are jaw-dropping. I wanted to know, this is a question for you and both Stephen, since it was said this is your brainchild. What are the lessons to be learned from the success of the task force, and what are your continued goals with this task force now that you have about 3 years left?
Well, the best thing we have going is we have such talent around this table. I could go over every one of these men and women, and we have unbelievable talent. They've got the naturals, you know, like somebody that hits a baseball or a golf ball or a, you know, that you see more, it's more evident. It's beautiful because it's sports.
By the way, in terms of the Binance guy, the reason why he fucking dropped him, I mean, I think we all know exactly why he offered a pardon to him. He is lying when he says, oh, I don't know anything about him. I got recommended. First of all, that's a ridiculous thing to admit. Can you imagine what people would say about Brandon? As a matter of fact, he has said that about Brandon. That's what he talks about when he says the auto pen. The auto pen. When he talks about Biden pardoning people, he constantly talked about that. Or he's like, he doesn't know these people at all. Meanwhile, here he is openly admitting he doesn't fucking know the person that he pardoned, except that's also a lie. He does know. And the reason why he did it is because those guys actually pumped his fucking cryptocurrency. It was a case of open corruption. Okay? Not only did he turn around and neuter the SEC and made it virtually impossible for the SEC to like even go after financial criminals in the regular stock market, but it made it all the more difficult to even go after the less regulated or virtually unregulated security exchanges on the cryptocurrency marketplace. And beyond that, the previous investigations that were concluded, he basically pardoned if they fucking bought his loyalty. It is straightforward, open and shut, quid pro quo.
Different. And we took a lot of bad people out, never to come back again. Then most of them never to come back again. But there's great talent and there's also great courage. I've been watching what goes on, and then you have the radical left lunatics, and what's that all about? I mean, they're fighting us because we want to stop crime. Where do these people come from? They're paid money. I guess they're paid a lot of money. But like I saw that ridiculous march the other day, I say, these people are not representative of our country. And not all of them, of course, but many of them are total lowlifes. These are lowlifes. These are people that are paid agitators, and they're not representative of our country. So I don't know. I can just tell you that our country has tremendous spirit right now. You know that better than anybody because you cover it well. But we have a lot of people that are very happy right now with the direction. They did a poll the other day. The direction of our country is better than it's been in 37 years. And I'm upset because I think it should be better than that. I actually said we should be better than that. So, thank you very much for your question. Brian?
Mr. President, yes. Thank you, Mr. President. You guys have done an amazing job in Memphis. Some of those numbers are staggering. And we've gotten message on social media wanting to thank you for that. But I think, can you talk about the number of missing children you guys have discovered in Memphis? That's amazing.
Well, it's hundreds of thousands were lost through Biden and the Biden administration. And we are getting a lot of them back, but they're either dead, they're slaves, they're captured in some form. But think of it, hundreds of thousands we're talking about, not even believable. And they came in through the border, they were sold, they were bargained for, and this was all Biden, meaning Biden and Obama, the same mentality, frankly. I think it's the same mentality. Let me tell you, Barack Hussein Obama was a lousy president. A lot of bad things happened. Remember when they used to talk about Trump with the jail cells? Well, he built the jail cells.
Well, you used them. You used them. You also shit on Barack Hussein Obama for doing extrajudicial drone strikes, and now you do it daily to random fishermen.
2 weeks, and then they found out it was Barack Obama that built those.
Like, this is unironically the argument, it's bad when a black guy does it, it's good when I do it. Like, how is this in any way, shape, or form? How is this in any way, shape, or form coherent for people? Like, he literally is saying, when Barack Hussein Obama did it, it was bad. When I did it, it was really good. I'm doing it. It's great. Like,
I don't want to have. I can't.
It's both.
Sports. We don't.
It's in the same vein as like the partisanship demonstrated here, where it's like political polarization is at an all-time high, where he just goes, when the Democrats do it, it's evil. They must be punished and prosecuted. When I do it, it's actually good. Okay, that's all he fucking keeps doing. That's all this is. And the reality of the matter is, there is a moral through line here. There is a morally consistent position, which is it's bad when Obama does it, and it's bad when Trump does it as well.
What kind of impact would that have on public safety?
Well, it's not good. I guess it's not a very nice place, but you need it. You need something. You have a lot of additional people in New York City that should not have been here. They came here through the open border, through Biden's. I don't know how they even do it. New York City.
Yeah, he would shit on Obama and Biden for taking days off. He shit on Obama for golfing. He golfs more than any other president. It just straight up, like, everything that he has accused his political enemies of, he has done a millionfold. Think about the Hunter Biden shit, okay? Hunter Biden, absolutely a nepotism receipt. $55 billion from the Gulf nation states that he is aligned with. Are we fucking kidding? Like, what is happening? Like, does no one think anymore? This is what's so frustrating about it, where it's like, no one cares. No one fucking cares. Trump gets to do whatever the fuck he wants. He gets to say whatever the fuck he wants. And honestly, there is no opposition to it whatsoever. At least there was some opposition from the media last time around where they were like, this is like transparent corruption. What the fuck's going on? This
is an important inside our hemisphere, which for far too long, other presidents, as the president pointed out, they've ignored our own backyard and allowed other countries to increase their influence here, which only threatens the American people. We're changing that.
One big thing that has happened, though, because you mentioned expansion and expand our efforts. So when I was running for office, second term, everybody was talking about the fact that nobody wanted to join the military, nobody wanted to join the great police force. They didn't want to join New York's finest or any of our police forces.
Portland isn't burning. There have been protest clashes near one ICE building.
With the country with the uniform.
Federal agents used tear gas and smoke Saturdays. Oregonian reported the canister sparked small fires that rain quickly put out. Fire department wasn't even summoned.
Space Force, Coast Guard. They're setting
there's my debunker.
Records. We've never
There's
had
my goat
anything
debunker.
like it. And I'll tell you when it started, November 5th. We didn't even have to wait till January 20th. They saw spirit. And now we have people coming in that are, it's unbelievable. And if we wanted to increase our military force, if we wanted to increase any one of these, including police forces, they can now get men. People didn't want to be policemen and women. They didn't want to be firemen and women. They didn't want to go into the military. We were having tremendous recruiting problems, and now we're setting records. We literally, last year at this time, you were doing stories that the recruitment was a disaster. We couldn't get men and women to go into the military. Now we have such an overabundance. We've never had, I mean, it's, as I understand it, it's like record-setting recruitment. This is in less than a year. It's been amazing. So this is a good time to expand if we want to do it. And I think we should. I think we should. And we probably will. Yeah, please. Yeah. Blue. A
couple questions for you. First for you and Secretary Hegseth. Is the administration supportive of sending National Guardsmen to cities for the express purpose of aiding deportation and immigration enforcement efforts?
To expand deportation efforts?
Sending National Guardsmen to U.S. cities for the express purpose of aiding deportation and immigration enforcement efforts.
What we've done so far is stand alongside federal law enforcement in every way, facilities and personnel, but also we have a great deal of lift inside the military. We're able to move assets in a way that no other aspect of the U.S. government can. And so where we can rapidly assist with mass deportations, we have been happy to do that.
And then one more question, if I may. Is the administration at all supportive of potential measures to crack down or regulate or even ban apps that track ICE agents' locations?
What do you mean by that?
Like specific apps that are used to track the location of ICE agents?
I guess we'll do that. I'm not a big app guy. I'm not into that too much. I think Pam might be it. Let's go.
Yes.
Give me a good answer there.
Yes. These organizations, President Trump, are coming in and their apps to track our federal law enforcement officers.
This is straight up. Why do you hate black people, Hassan? Oh my God. Oh. Anyway, let's keep going.
David, where you did this.
This is the administration. This is a fascist administration.
Show no mercy on the cartels
and
employ
a big part of developing a coherent fascist movement requires destroying an established consensus reality and rebuilding it in the ways they see fit, mythologizing a superior white group of people, like a white in-group, okay? Leaning into pre-existing white supremacist values that already are fundamental to American existence and American inception. Destroying all of the enemies, constantly reinforcing the dehumanizing language around victims of the administration.
Guy is paying for all that stuff. And we don't mind protest. Protest is a good thing. I protest. I'm always protesting, right? But when you see some of these people are going crazy. They're going crazy because they're getting paid. because there's no reason for them to be going crazy. But you watch some of them, and they're professional agitators, and we are finding out who's paying them. Yeah, we have a lot of information about who they are. You're going to be very surprised when you find out.
No, we won't, because you're going to make it up.
Sir, a memo circulating on social media details the establishment of a National Guard response force that's going to be trained in crowd control and civil unrest and deployed in all 50 states by April of 2026. Can you verify the authenticity of that memo, and do you have any more information on the operations?
I'm not going to answer particulars on something that may be in the planning process, but we definitely do have multiple layers of National Guard response forces, whether it's in each state, whether it's regionally, whether it's Title 10 active duty, whether it's Washington, D.C. We've got a lot of different ways that constitutionally and legally we can employ Title 10 and Title 32 forces, and we will do so when necessary.
Thank you. President Putin basically said today that Russia is immune from U.S. sanctions. He said that it would not impact the Russian economy in any serious way. Is he
Good.
wrong?
I'm glad he feels that way. That's good. I'll let you know about it in 6 months from now. Okay. Let's see how it all works out. Yeah. Go ahead, please, Blue.
One about the shutdown. I'm Taylor Poplars with Spectrum News. The same day you established this task force back on January 20th was the same day you pardoned the January 6th defendants.
Yeah, very proud of that. Yeah.
Just last weekend, one of them was charged with allegedly threatening to kill House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. And a big theme of this task force has been allowing law enforcement to do their job and holding accountable people who go after law enforcement. Do you worry that your actions back on day one undermine what this task force is trying to accomplish?
No, you have thousands of people that we're dealing with, and if one goes haywire, look at what this guy in Virginia said, where he wanted to kill his opponent. He's going to kill his opponent. He's going to kill his opponent's children and I think wife, and he continues to.
And for each of those arrests, there's anywhere from between.
Is he just clickbaiting now? He says Trump makes an announcement and it's just him rambling. I mean, that's how it is every time. Every announcement session is just a glaze sesh followed by Trump rambling about how great he's doing.
So what I will say to them is thank you.
I mean, this is the AMLO method. Actually, this is a successful method of communicating with the masses. The difference, of course, is that AMLO actually had shit that he could present every day as a good thing, like expansion of welfare programs, expansion of infrastructure projects, things of that nature. For him, it's just, we killed 36 fishermen. Isn't that awesome? It's just, there's not really much that he could be defending. So he just ends up rambling along. And I'm sure that it annoys people.
Terrorists or rioters, they will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. When politicians aid these terrorists by trying to give them comfort.
AMLO didn't have people sitting around him glazing him. He talked directly to the press in a difficult environment every single morning for 2 hours, unscripted. Trump could never. Yeah, I'm the only thing that I'm saying is medium-wise, format-wise, it's playing a similar role. It's Donald Trump cutting out the middlemen and trying to directly talk to his base. That's what he's doing. But to limited success. To limited success for two reasons. Number one, because there's not much.
With President
Yes,
Xi.
so that's actually my question.
I figured it
I
was.
was wondering, since it
He's
mostly
so
comes
brilliant.
from
I
China and
figured it
has caused
out.
such carnage in the U.S.,
Yeah.
what are you going to say to convey the seriousness? And also a second question for you or Secretary Hegseth. Is there any evidence that China is now smuggling fentanyl through Venezuela to bypass U.S. and Mexican port controls?
They are doing that, yes. But they are paying right now a 20% tariff because of fentanyl. That's billions and billions of dollars that they're paying. We're actually, on November 1st, the tariff on China goes to 157%, which is record-setting territory. And we don't want that because it's not sustainable for them. They can't sustain that. We don't want them to have to go through that. So I'm meeting with President Xi, and I would say we have some big issues, like with the farmers and various other things. But the first question I'm going to be asking him about is fentanyl. And if you think about it, they make $100 million. Think of this. They make $100 million selling fentanyl into our country, $100 million. they lose $100 billion with the 20% tariff. So it's not a good business proposition. It's $100 billion approximately that they have to pay. That's a big penalty to make $100 million. So I think they want to do something. They want to put it on the list. It's on the list. It's one of the things we're talking about, and I'm putting it right at the front of the list. So they pay a very big penalty for doing that, and I don't think they want to be doing it. And we'll see what happens at the end of next week, because I'll be meeting next week, as you know, along with we're stopping in Malaysia, we're stopping in South Korea, we're stopping in Japan. I'm meeting with President Xi actually in South Korea. So it'll be the first thing on the list. Yeah, please.
Yes, Mr. President.
Mr. President, on the drug boats, sir, has there been any discussion about capturing one so that you can show the amount of narcotics?
We know everything about them. Yeah, Jennifer. We know everything about them. We know where they're coming from, who they're coming with, generally who's in the boat. I'll let Pete discuss it a little bit, but they have incredible intelligence. And, you know, usually when you see 5 engines, I've never even seen that before, but when you see 5 engines on a boat going about 65 miles an hour, loaded up with white powder in silver cases, generally speaking, that's not a good sign. They're not going fishing, right? And you don't see any fishing rods, right? So, Pete, I'll let you discuss that a little bit, please.
Well, yes, sir. Likewise, generally you don't see fishing in submarines either, sir. So the U.S. military, as I mentioned, nobody better in the world at mapping networks, identifying who's connected to who inside terrorist organizations. It's just the media.
I can't explain this enough. Even if they had credible intelligence that these guys were drug traffickers, which they do not, but even if they did, what they did is still illegal. Okay, what the American military did is still illegal. There is no world where you can just decide, oh, these guys are doing a crime, I'm going to kill them. That's not how this works. That's not how it's supposed to work. Of course, when America does it, given the absence of any sort of pushback from anyone else that has equal amounts of power and influence on the global stage, you just have to look the other way. But even in the past, the American government, knowing full well that if they wanted to maintain their status as the world police, would try to, at the very least, create a permission structure and an environment of legality with bullshit reasoning and things of that nature. They have completely dropped all notion that there is any need to justify these actions. They just go, they're criminals, we said so, shut the fuck up. Now, of course, it was still mind-boggling criminality when Barack Obama was doing his drone wars, okay? And the internal calculation that he was doing about proportionality and whatnot, that was still silly. It was still illegal. But the fact that they are even less restrained now means we are moving into the next phase of overt fascism.
Amazing. But we have the Gulf of America, and there are very few boats, very, very few boats, not even fishing boats, to be honest. I don't want to do that to the fishing industry, but it's been so effective. And our sea drugs, as they call them, they use the term sea drugs, the drugs coming in by sea, are like 5% of what they were a year ago, less than 5%. So now they're coming in by land, and even the land is concerned because I told them that's going to be next. You know, the land.
Oh, God.
And we may go to the Senate, we may go to the, Congress and tell them about it. But I can't imagine they'd have any problem with it. I think, in fact, while we're here, I think it's a good idea, Pete. You go to Congress, you tell them about it. What are they going to do? Say, gee, we don't want to stop drugs pouring in. They're killing 300,000 people a year. I think that's the real number, 300,000 people a year. So between that and my discussion with President Xi, I think we have never made progress like we've made. The sea drugs are almost dead, and they can't come in that fast from the land. And the land drugs are much more dangerous for them. It's going to be much more dangerous. You'll be seeing that soon. So that's the way it is. Yeah. Go ahead, please. Yeah, go ahead, please. With the glasses, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Good.
I wanted to ask, what's your reaction to Representative Dan Goldman calling on NYPD to arrest ICE agents who he says are acting illegally? He says they are illegally assaulting people and illegally detaining people at immigration courts in New York.
Where are you from?
Well, you know, I know Dan, and Dan's a loser. You understand? He's a guy that doesn't have what it
What
takes.
outlet
He's
are you
been trying
from?
So
Who's
hard.
to ask me such a question?
And they're exhausted. I mean, it's so ridiculous, right? A suggestion like that. So, you know, they're just trying so hard, and it's not working. They've even now started imitating me, of all people. They want to imitate me. And they start using foul language, but they use too much of it. You know, you can't use the F word 7 times in one sentence. It doesn't work. It might work once every 7 news conferences, but you can't do it. You can't do it 7 times in one sentence. So I don't know. They're really they're in big trouble. That party. Go ahead.
Mr. President.
Some alleged smugglers have survived some of these recent strikes and been sent back to their home country. If they're terrorists, why not just arrest and detain them?
Go ahead.
2 points on that. First, when I served in Iraq in 2005 and 2006, we used to, in sort of a gallows humor way, talk about the Iraqi catch and release program, the reality that we would catch a lot of people, hand them over, and then they would be recycled back through, and we'd have to recapture them or attack them again. And that's why changing the dynamic and actually taking kinetic strikes on these boats.
Bro just said it, like, it's just straight up. He's just saying it.
To those 2 that were, that,
I mean,
that
what a
survived
psychopathic
the shot on the
person.
Think again, compared to Iraq and Afghanistan, the vast majority of people that we captured on the battlefield, we handed over to the home country. Did we always like how it shaped out? Sometimes we did, sometimes we did not. But 99% would go to the Afghan authorities or the Iraqi authorities. So in this case, those 2, they were treated by American medics and handed immediately over to their countries where they came from, hopefully to face prosecution, which is a very standard way of handling something like this.
And you'll do that with future survivors, anyone else who survived?
We've got protocol of how we'll handle it.
Not that guy. He's so hopeless. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yesterday, there was a vote at the Knesset on annexing the West Bank. Do you see it as a challenge to your peace efforts?
Could you say that louder, please?
Yes, yesterday there was a vote at the Knesset in Israel on annexing the West Bank. Do you see it as a challenge to your peace efforts?
Will you answer that, please? Because I cannot understand the words you're saying. Where are you from? Where are you from? You're from France. Beautiful accent, but we can't understand what you're saying. Huh?
She said a vote at the Knesset on the West Bank.
The West Bank is, don't worry about the West Bank. Israel's not going to do anything with the West Bank, okay? Don't worry about it. Is that your question? They're not going to do anything with the West Bank. Don't worry about it. Israel's doing very well. They're not going to do anything with it. Yeah, please, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. Are there any safeguards in place to protect Americans from fentanyl and cartels when you leave office in 2028? Any protocols that could be put in place in case a future administration comes in that wants open borders? And I also have a question for the Secretary of War as well after your answer.
Well, the
if that's
biggest
okay.
thing we can do is make sure they don't come in, because open borders, they would destroy. It's amazing that our country is even surviving with what we went through, coming in by the millions and coming in from the wrong places. You know, I know all these people that run these countries, and they're smart. They're very street smart, and they're not sending their best, you know. They're not sending, they're taking them out of their prisons and their mental institutions, as I say over and over again. They're the drug dealers. They're the drug addicts. They're people that don't work. I mean, the best of them are people that don't work. They don't work. They're on welfare, their form of welfare, which is tiny. You know what their form of welfare? They give you a piece of paper. They give you nothing. But they want people that work. They don't let those people come out because they want those people. You know, they cherish those people. Those are the people that make their country run. They give us all of the people that don't work and are murderers. 11,843 murderers came in. 11,800, many of them committed, more than 50% committed more than one murder. Now, why do we want them? Why would Biden and that group of thugs that he had working for him, why
Migrants coming in meet Americans in the wild who love him, and I think we kind of deserve him. I think America's victims don't deserve him.
Most of which should not have been allowed into our country. It's one of the great enigmas. What they've done to this country should
I
never
didn't miss the
be
French reporter
forgotten
asking about
in
West
history.
Bank annexation.
Should
He
never,
was
ever
like,
be
French is a
forgotten.
beautiful
Now it
accent,
looks
but
like
I don't
you
know
have
what
a
you're
communist
saying.
Mayor in New York. Have to go through the White House. Yeah, please go ahead.
The founder of Binance. Can you explain why you chose to pardon him, and did it have anything to do with his involvement in your
Which one? Who is
family's?
that?
The founder of Binance. He has a involvement in your own
The
family's
recent
crypto
one, yes.
business.
I believe we're talking about the same person because I do pardon a lot of people. I don't know. He was recommended by a lot of people. A lot of people say
I don't
that.
know.
Are you
I
talking
pardoned
about
a lot
the
of
crypto
people.
person? A lot of people say that he wasn't guilty of anything. He served 4 months in jail, and they